We're celebrating WALB's 60th anniversary by hitting the road each Thursday. For the next 6 weeks, we'll broadcast our 6 o'clock news live from a different city in our viewing area. These markers, which show just how high the waters rose during the flood here at Albany State, are daily reminders of how far they've come. We've got a nice spot in the shade, and the chamber gave us these nifty little watermelon fans to help keep us cool. This afternoon, investigators confirmed the bodies found yesterday are Bud and June Runyon. They both died from gunshot wounds to their head. Now, just a little while ago, 28-year-old Jay Towns had his first appearance in this courthouse before a judge on charges that now include murder and armed robbery. Authorities say the thieves hopped that fence behind me with the gifts, took them to this area, unwrapped all the presents, and left behind the gifts and the paper. Authorities are waiting on experts to come look at this device and see how they can remove it. We're about a football field away from the scene, which is a few houses down. Police cars are out in front, and it looks like the GBI bomb squad is showing up as we speak. These are the people who will look at this old military device and see how they can remove it. Again, this is the unit showing up right now, and they are going to be helping Dougherty County Police and Albany firefighters look at this device, see what it is and how they can remove it. Alltree State Prison is just up the road. It's there that investigators believe an inmate used a cell phone to scam residents all over the country out of money, which means 52 will report back tomorrow morning for the striking process. Now, that's where both sides will go back and forth to pick the actual jurors. And we've met a lot of really friendly folks here already today, and we're just getting started. And a lot of the businesses in this area suffered some damage. As you can see, this business behind me was under construction, and it's a complete loss now. But it wasn't just businesses that were damaged by the violent storms that ripped through Tift County. We've had an awesome time meeting everyone tonight. We've taken lots of pictures, lots of selfies, and you can check more of our pictures out on our Facebook pages as well as our website, WALB.com. And if you haven't liked our pages yet, you need to go to Facebook and like our pages. And before we get to weather, we've got a special treat tonight. If you take a look, it looks like someone took a bite out of the sun, but in reality, it's a partial eclipse of the sun. Now, this is a live look from the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. A police chase of a different kind in Doran. A man on an all-terrain vehicle trying to outrun the law. WALB News 10's Devin Knight tells us why he was running. Residents are speaking out about that stretch of Highway 84, which they say has been the scene of numerous crashes, including today's double fatality. A Valdosta family is shaken up after a terrifying home invasion late last night. WALB News 10's Coulter Anstad is live in Valdosta with the details. Perfect weather for Friday night football. I like it. Absolutely. All right, thanks, Ryan. GBI authorities have arrested a possible suspect in the death of an Albany State University graduate. The Athens Banner Herald says Rodriguez Ward, a former boyfriend of 24-year-old Darla Gibbons, is in the Greene County Jail on an unrelated charge. Gibbons' body was found Wednesday afternoon inside a burned car in Athens. Police say she was shot prior to her car being set on fire. Authorities say Gibbons and Ward had an off and on relationship for several years. 2 people are in custody after leading deputies on a high-speed chase through 2 East Georgia counties. Deputies say the driver of a Chrysler sedan sped off after a Liberty County deputy tried to stop the car. The chase ended in Long County after a state trooper performed a pit maneuver. One of the suspects was hospitalized when deputies learned he swallowed cocaine. The other suspect was not injured. Students at an Augusta high school held a vigil for a teen whose body was found in the woods earlier this week. Dozens of teens paid their respects to Nicholas Dunn, who was found dead on Tuesday. He was last seen at a football game over the weekend. Students say Dunn was well liked by his peers. All is clear at a Nashville, Tennessee hospital tonight after an Ebola scare. A patient with flu or Ebola-like symptoms told paramedics he was in contact with someone from West Africa. Hospital officials say the patient does not have Ebola, but the ambulance was decontaminated as a precaution.
This is a cut, this is a cut.
Brittany Michaud's injuries have healed, but her scars are constant reminders of her brush with death New Year's Eve.
Sometimes I have flashbacks, and it's not the flashbacks that get me, it's the sounds. It's like me screaming, or I can hear the fire, and that's what really gets me.
Michaud fell asleep while she was cooking, and her home in Worth County caught fire. There were no working smoke detectors in the house, but thankfully she woke up and her home was full of smoke.
I was like freaking out. I was like, well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I was coughing, I was screaming, and then I just get out of there, so I went through the window.
Okay. That decision likely saved her life.
That's when people lose their lives, when they have to think about what to do, not react to the situation as planned.
Having a fire plan can save your life. So WALB News 10 teamed up with the Albany Fire Department to demonstrate the challenges of getting out alive. Experts estimate you have just 2 minutes to get out when a fire starts. We tested our plan inside the fire department's fire safety house. After crawling through the room, I tried to locate a doll, similar to finding a baby during a fire.
Once you get to the baby, then whichever is the safest escape route to take from that point is what you need to do.
Oh my goodness. All right, you can't see down the stairs at all.
A secondary escape route was through the window.
Feel the door. If you feel heat, then go out your secondary means of escape. But the key is always have 2 ways.
Firefighters say once your family makes an escape plan, stick to it. And once you get outside, stay there.
Most people that go back into a fire never get back out the second time. And so the key is get out as quickly as you can, have a designated meeting place. Once there, then wait for our response.
Experts say you must practice your escape route, which is now something Brittany Mashad thinks about all the time.
It's opened up my eyes a lot to the life of reality.
A reality that includes a plan to get out alive. 2 men are busted using this van and equipment to steal fuel. A Terrell County deputy patrolling the area early Saturday morning spotted this van in the parking lot of Boomerang Fuel and Food on Albany Highway.
The guys had the hood hushed on it like the truck was broke down. So the deputy pulled up and asked them what was the problem, and they told him that the truck was having a problem with it, so they got in it and left.
When they left, the deputy noticed one of these underground tanks had been opened. The deputy followed the thieves and pulled over 22-year-old George Bellamy and 57-year-old Danny Terry. Authorities found 2 12-volt batteries, this 100-gallon tank, and an electric pump in the back of the van.
We've had problem with them here stealing the whole fuel tanks from some of the farmers, stuff like that, but I've never seen one rigged up like this before. I think that was just an accident waiting to happen.
Authorities say the thieves backed their van up where they attempted to siphon gas from this tank into that tank in their van.
I think they'd have done it before. I don't think this was their first trip.
Authorities believe the 2 were just getting started when they got busted.
He coming that way.
The owner of Boomerang isn't sure how much fuel they got away with. Both Bellamy and Terry are facing numerous charges and are being held on $30,000 bond. An update now to a story we shared with you on Monday. Irvin Fulton, who won tickets to the Georgia Tech game this weekend, now has a ride. The die-hard Georgia fan has also received an outpouring of support from folks all over the state, and he has a message for our viewers.
Hello?
Since Monday, Irvin Fulton's phone has been steadily ringing.
Right when the story aired, after it left the television, I received my first phone call from a gentleman in Worth County, which is my hometown, as a coincidence. And he offered to take us up there right off the back.
Fulton, who's legally blind, needs a ride to the University of Georgia Tech game after he won 4 tickets because of his community service work with Phi Beta Sigma fraternity.
It's going to be a very emotional time for me because I said I wasn't going to cry, but most likely I will.
Fulton will be recognized on the field during his first visit to Sanford Stadium. Our news story, which was posted on Facebook, reached more than 80,000 people in Bulldog Nation, many willing to help.
And I had a couple of calls come out of Atlanta. They was willing to come and pick us up and bring us back. And this was out of Atlanta, so it's overwhelming where you can find Georgia Bulldog fans.
And the kindness hasn't stopped there.
Wow, it's fleece. And it's warm. It's stylish. It's stylish.
A Leesburg couple bought Fulton and his 18-year-old son, Kendall, who's also going to the game, these jackets and hats.
It's been overwhelming. It's just strangers calling me out of nowhere.
Right now, Fulton plans to ride up with his niece and her husband, but they're more than grateful for all of the offers.
We appreciate all the support, and you never know who will contact you until you be placed in this type of position.
Jay Towns was denied bond. His family was there during the hearing, visibly upset, some even crying. His aunt told me that Jay never caused any problems. She never saw him be violent, and that this is all very shocking. Reporting live in Telfair County, Tara Herrschaft, WALB News 10.